Hello everybody and welcome, I'm Comodin Cam, and today we're going to be ranking the team leader of the Combaticons, ONSLAUGHT, who is actually my favourite member of the team. Throughout 40 years, ONSLAUGHT's design has remained fairly consistent, but there's been a few deviations that's going to make this very interesting to look at.
Very well, we will obey you for now.
So let's just dive straight into the tier names, and first up, of course, had to be...
You're too crude to accomplish anything!
I beg your pardon, my strategy is brilliant!
And now for the second tier...
No, there are limits. Pick again.
ONSLAUGHT.
You need a bigger door.
And now for the middle tier...
Decepticons! It is time to reclaim the energon that is rightfully ours! Attack! Attack!
Idiot! Blast off, swindle! Time to salvage this mess.
And now for the fourth tier...
Who are you? And what are we doing in these crude carcasses?
Yes, I wouldn't want to be seen by anyone I know in this getup.
And finally, for the worst tier...
I got the last!
His fat head. Don't get any better than that.
First up is Generation 1, and ONSLAUGHT makes up the torso for Bruticus, serving as the head. And I like this design. When it comes to the cartoon, there's not all that much different when it comes to the original toy. A few minor tweaks here and there, but it's pretty much one-to-one accurate. And I love this dark green colour scheme that we've got going off here. This is so nice, so cool, and I love his British accent in the series. Yeah, one of my favourite designs for sure. And it's nice to see this design again in the Skybound comics. Now, I don't really care for the Generation 2 colour schemes. It's like ONSLAUGHT's just been given Swindle's colours, and it doesn't really work. Not for this design in particular. It's nice as a good one-off, but yeah, no, I don't like this. In the Universe 2008 toy line, we got a Legends class of ONSLAUGHT, but this is just a redeco of Cybertron Red Alert. The only thing noteworthy about it is the insignia for the Decepticons is actually the Bayverse one. A minor error for this particular toy line, but I gotta say, he got a much better upgrade, of course, with the Ultra class, which I saw this toy all over the place. This was pretty much the best ONSLAUGHT toy you could get at the time, and you know what, still to this day, it is a good toy, and I still want to get my hands on it. I would go past it all the time in Toys R Us, but I'd never pick it up, even though I really wanted it. Yeah, this is actually not a bad ONSLAUGHT. This is like a standalone. He doesn't, combine, of course, with any other Combaticons, because there weren't any, but this is just a good standout toy for that era. It's a shame. I would love to see this toy come back in some capacity. Also in 2008, there was a Bruticus Maximus multi-pack. This is of course just a redeco of Energon Barricade, and yeah, it was rebranded and repackaged in the Revenge of the Fallen toy line. I guess the colour scheme adds a little bit of maturity to that Energon Barricade, but this is still Barricade. I guess we might as well mention the maggot bot shots. Yeah, I hate this, but the Creo version, okay, I kind of hate it too. Just the head sculpt. It's pretty much Galvatron, but with ONSLAUGHT's body. Next up, we have Big Chungus ONSLAUGHT. This is the United EX, the Combat Master Prime mode. This is a redeco of Power Core Combiner's Bomb Shock, and it's now ONSLAUGHT. And you know what? It's not that bad. The kibble area around the torso is a bit much. I just don't agree with this being ONSLAUGHT, even though robot mode it does work. But yeah, no, he's Chungus to me. ONSLAUGHT returned to form in 2016 in the Combiner Wars toy line, looking much more like his Generation 1 counterpart. And you know what? I won't knock this. This actually looks really cool. This is a heavy retool though of Hotspot, but regardless, it's still a faithful, accurate looking ONSLAUGHT for its time, and it's the closest thing to G1 you're gonna get. Besides from of course the upcoming Age of the Primes ONSLAUGHT. I might as well mention the Earth Wars ONSLAUGHT, which is basically the same as Combiner Wars, but with more added detail, and it's a little bit jarring, a little bit too heavy in some areas, but still, it's colourful. I'll briefly mention the comics because the design is very similar to Combiner Wars, and it's also somewhat similar to the Legends card game. Of course, with these cards, there's minor tweaks, there's more purple on one compared to the other, but yeah, when it comes to comics, he's pretty much identical to Combiner Wars and these cards. Now, if we rewind back to 2010, Onslaught actually had a major design change when it came to the High Moon Studios video games. Of course, starting off with War for Cybertron, where he was a DLC character, where you could play as his body in multiplayer and his character in Escalation. Now, this is one of my favourite designs of Onslaught, period. I love the colour scheme. It's still that dark blue and green, and it just works so well with the wheels integrating into the feet and then the shoulders. I just love everything about this. This is my ideal Onslaught for sure, which is why I was delighted to see him return in Fall of Cybertron, of course, with the rest of the Combaticons. But he returns with a twist. You'll notice a significant proportion change. It's like that entire torso has been reworked, his arms and wheels has also been slightly tweaked, and we've had a few colour changes, only minor. It's something that a hardcore fan would of course notice. It's like his head, for example. He's no longer got an orange visor, it's all yellow, and he's no longer got blue across his face. It's actually just this dull grey. But when it comes to like my personal favourite, it is War for Cybertron. I think just proportionally it looks better, especially when you've got the back view of the character. Not dissing the Fall of Cybertron one. I understand why they probably changed those proportions, probably for the multiplayer, but also as well to give him a bit more chunky, bulky mass, so it kind of works with, of course, Bruticus when he transforms into the torso. But yeah, these are just minor changes. I've tried to explain to so many people for years the difference of this, and they don't seem to get it, but I hope this comparison shows it. Huge thanks to Barricade24 for the footage, because without this, it'd be a bit lot harder to explain the differences. But yeah, go check out his channel for more High Moon Studios content. Yeah, no, I just prefer War for Cybertron based on a tonal difference, and I think the character just looks a little bit better here. But yeah, this is without a doubt one of my favourite Onslaught designs ever, which is why it was so disappointing to see the official toy release of him, and this is just horrible. This doesn't do justice to that design at all. Such a beautiful, perfect design, and it doesn't get a good toy. The closest we got to perfect was the Microblaze Creations Military Titans, which basically just fixed that Bruticus set, but unfortunately it's extremely rare to find. I'm so lucky to be able to have it, but he's missing a piece on his shoulder, which most of these are if you're able to track one down for some strange reason, but I wouldn't want to transform it anyway. But there is hope that we will get a better toy of this design, either with an official Hasbro toy in the Studio Series Gamer Edition, or with the third-party Rising Force toy. So yeah, this is a company that's currently working on all of the Combaticons in Fall of Cybertron, and they look really cool, super promising. I know people weren't happy with their previous toy, Menasor, but this looks a 10 times better improvement. I just hope the plastic quality and everything is just top notch, and it looks it so far. I can't wait to see what these guys look like in paint, and yeah, there's hope. There is hope that we will finally get toys of all of these Combaticons. That isn't a disgrace to the fandom. But what I would definitely like a toy of is the Transformers Prime Universe MMO Onslaught. This is incredible. Once again, such a shame that game was cancelled. We missed out on so much potential, and this is a prime example. This works in the Transformers Prime aesthetic so well. This is like the essential Transformers Prime Onslaught. It's a shame that it was only part of this game and we couldn't actually see this in Transformers Prime, but still, regardless, what a great design, what a great vehicle mode, a great revision of that Generation 1 design, but also taking inspiration from Fall of Cybertron as well. Absolutely beautiful, deserves to be at the top. What doesn't deserve to be at the top is the Transformers The Last Knight Onslaught. This is such a slap in the face, especially for the character's minimal screen time. But I think the bigger insult is actually this design. No offense, I love the Onslaught design. It's one of the best Transformers Bayverse designs ever. But this is not Onslaught. This is just Longhaul's leftover brother. I don't like this at all. The extra parts don't make it unique enough. What would have made it unique is a brand new chest, a brand new face, and it teased the idea of Bruticus potentially being in The Last Knight, but of course we know that's not going to work with Brawl being already dead. But this is Michael Bay, who could have retconned anything like he likes to anyway. But yeah, no, this was just a disappointing mess, to be fair. I'm just glad he died, really. He deserved it. Now let's move into some fan art, because I want to celebrate all the great fan art out there. And first up, we have Anti-100. This is a great Transformers Animated inspired light design. I can imagine him looking like this in the series. I love the wheels all over his arms and those big shoulders. Yeah, this is really cool. And the claw as well, and of course taking inspiration from The Last Knight, I imagine. Yeah, this is a great armored up Onslaught in that art style. Great. Alright, next up we have Dino Riser, and this is a really well detailed original G1 design. This is really cool. I like the Sonic Stun Rifle. This detail is just always incredible to me, and his tank mode as well. I love the extension on the back. I've never really favored that G1 extension of Onslaught, but here it works really well. I like all of these extra parts, and yeah, this is a really well matured version of G1 Onslaught. Another great design is by Head Combaticon, and this is, wow, this is really neat. I love the art style of this. I love his proportions, really cool. This is like a good Rescue Bots, but also Transformers animated style of Onslaught. I like this so much. I like the colors. The blue and green works so well. Yeah, he's cute, he's adorable, but also a menace. You can tell he's a menace. Alright, next up we have Idiot Loser with a great fan art design here. I love the idea of Onslaught smoking, and he's more Colonel-like as well. Yeah, that head design is really fun, a real treat. Another great interpretation of how he could have possibly have looked in Transformers Animated as well. I like that vehicle mode, really nice. Very much like that SWAT vehicle from that original Universe 2008 toy. Yeah, this is neat. I love this. I also love Locust Focus's design. I love how rounded this guy looks all over. A great pose as well with those giant ass cannons. That head sculpt is also really neat as well. And the wheels. This guy is like just full of wheels. This is really menacing. Ready for action, so cool. Also really cool is Luxno's art as well, really nice. I like how we've got a background shot of all of the other Combaticons as well. This is definitely his original alt mode, which is nice. I'm glad someone's actually done that, because of course in G1 they had the old modes and then they converted them into modernized vehicle modes, and I like that you've got the treads on his chest, really nice, and of course with those extra turrets on the back of him as well, and his knuckles, he's got like a knuckle duster. Really nice detail all over. Yeah, a great design of that original vehicle mode. Okay, next up we have Primal's design, a great Transformers animated art style aesthetic, of course very G1 inspired, but really neat. I like this a lot. I would love to see him with the other Combaticons as well. Yeah, I like this design. I know you've done different color variants as well, which is also really neat. Yeah, a really great design. Next up is a great design by Cybrex. This is really neat. I like the heavy missile carrier truck, really nice. I like how massive his cannons are as well, and he's got like the Decepticon Elite Guard symbols all over him, really nice. I like how big his shoulders are, reminds me very much of Scourge from RID. I like his head design as well with his cracked visor. You can see a piece of his eye there, which is really neat. Yeah, this is a great animated aesthetic. We've got a lot of great animated style like Onslaught designs today, really neat. Also really neat is this Spike Arts design. Next up we have Spiky Arts, and this is a tremendously great Bayverse take design. This is how I would have liked to have seen Onslaught in the Bayverse. This looks so cool. God, he is ready for action. I like how his legs are very similar to Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, but his torso and his guns, just really neat. Yeah, this is what we should have got. This is more ideal compared to that Last Night trash. I love everything about this, just so menacing and just so cool. Alright, next up we have Thomas Spettel, who has submitted artwork from the Transformers Keenan Carlisle series Combaticons. This was of course a real treat for the fanbase to have the Combaticons have their own series, and yeah, this is really great. All the artwork on this series is really cool, and this Onslaught design is just incredible. Another great animated inspired aesthetic. I like how the vehicle mode is pretty much like Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron's. Really neat, cool ass design. Yeah, it was wonderful to see them finally get their own show. Great work from everyone who worked on that pilot. And there we have it guys, every Onslaught design ranked from worst to best. We all know which is my favourite. It of course has to be the High Moon Studios design. But let me know which is your personal favourite in the comment section below. I do plan on covering Swindle next, so be sure to send your fan art over on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the description below. But until then guys, I've been Comodin Cam, and goodbye.